Hi everyone, welcome back to another session of Bhagavad Gita. We are doing today Bhagavad Gita chapter 1, text number 21 to 23, which is on page number 45 of the hardbound Bhagavad Gita as it is if you're following along. We'll do a recap of what we covered in our previous session. We saw blowing of the conch shells became uproarious. The storyline is the Kaurava and the Pandava brothers are standing next to each other, ready to fight, blowing their conch shells. Blowing of conch shell is an indication of starting something very significant or even ending something very significant, which calls for attention of everyone. And the war was about to begin. It was a very significant activity. So both the parties started to blow their conch shells. And we saw the description that the blowing of conch shells of Pandavas, Arjuna, Krishna, and Yudhishthir Maharaj, when they blew their conch shells, it shattered the hearts of all the people on the battlefield, especially the opposite side of the army. We saw what did Arjuna do next. Conch shell were blown. Arjuna is ready with his bow and arrow, ready to fight. We saw an exchange between Hanuman and Bhima. We have been covering the five key things which indicate that the Pandava brothers will win the war even before the war has started. One is Krishna is on Arjuna's side. Wherever there is Krishna, there is goddess of fortune. Lakshmi Devi is with Arjuna. The chariot that was given to Arjuna was by Agni. There is Hanuman on Arjuna's flag, and wherever there is Hanuman, there is Lord Ramachandra and Mother Sita. So even before the war is started, there are indications that Arjuna and the Pandava brothers will win the war. Agenda today. We will see text number 21 and 22 translation. This is the very first time Krishna is being introduced in the Bhagavad Gita. So we will spend some time there. We will read the translation for text number 23 of chapter 1. And we will see what's happening in text number 23, which is estimation of strength. We'll start with prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master who, with the torchlight of knowledge, has opened my eyes which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear Lord, and the spiritual energy of the Lord, kindly engage me in your service. I am now embarrassed with this material service. Please engage me in your service. Chapter 1, text number 21 and 22. Last session we did up until text 20 and we are starting today with text number 21. This is what it reads. It says, Arjuna said, O fallible one, please draw my chariot between the two armies so that I may see those present here who desire to fight and with whom I must contend in this great trial of arms. So, few important things to capture or pay attention here are: Krishna is being addressed as infallible. We will see that in our next slide in a little detail. Also, Arjuna is requesting Krishna or ordering Krishna to take his chariot between the two armies. The text before this, we saw that Arjuna is ready with his bow and arrow to fight. And this verse, Arjuna requesting or ordering Krishna to take his chariot in between the two armies, is already an indication that Arjuna has doubts of whether he should fight or no. Introduction to Krishna. This, in the whole text of Bhagavad Gita, this is the very first time Krishna is being introduced. Arjuna is talking to Krishna, and Krishna is being introduced as the charioteer of Arjuna. Being a charioteer of somebody is not a very significant position, and Krishna took that position of driving the chariot of Arjuna. And that's how Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is being introduced in the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is being introduced as the servant of his devotee, Arjuna. Krishna's position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not become diminished by his taking the position of a chariot driver of his devotee. Krishna likes to serve his devotees. His devotees like to serve Krishna. And this is always a transcendental competition between Krishna and his pure devotees. Krishna is being addressed in this verse as infallible. Krishna will never fail his devotee. And that is one good reason to become a devotee of Krishna, because Krishna will always be with us. Krishna takes great pleasure in being the order carrier of his devotee. Krishna likes to take orders from his pure devotee instead of giving orders to his devotees. He relishes that more. He relishes taking orders from his devotees, pure devotees, more than giving orders to his devotees. Moving on, text number 23. This is the translation for text number 23. Arjuna continues to speak. He's saying, "Let me see those who have come here to fight, wishing to please the evil-minded son of Dhritarashtra." Arjuna wants to see who has come to fight with him. Estimating the strength. Krishna was on Arjuna's side, and thus victory for Arjuna was certain. We have been talking about the 5 indications which very clearly show that Arjuna and his brothers, the Pandavas, are going to win the war. Yet, what is Arjuna doing? Knowing that Arjuna will win the war, he is not chilling out. He's not relaxing and saying, "Hey, after all, Krishna is on my side. I'm going to win the war." That's all. He's not doing that. He is very diligently performing his duty. Estimating the strength of the opposite army. Why is he estimating? Why does he want to estimate the strength of the opposite army? He wants to fight with his full vigor. He wants to fight with all his skill, acumen that is provided to him by Krishna. And as a diligent person, he wants to assess the strength of the opposite army so he can fight accordingly. A lesson to learn for us is although Krishna is on our side, we don't neglect our duty. We do our duty diligently and to the best of our ability. Why? Because that is pleasing to Krishna. Our goal in life, following in the footsteps of Arjuna, is to please Krishna. Summary for what we spoke today. We read the translations for text number 21-22. Arjuna is ordering Krishna to take his chariot in between the two armies. This is the text in which Krishna gets introduced in the Bhagavad Gita. He is being introduced as the chariot driver of Arjuna. So he is taking a position as a servant of his pure devotee, Arjuna. Yet his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead does not get diminished. We read the translation for text number 23. Why does Arjuna want his chariot to be taken in between the two armies? He wants to estimate the strength of the opposite party so he can fight with full rigor for the pleasure of Krishna. Arjuna wants to serve Krishna, and he wants to serve Krishna in a way that is pleasing to Krishna. How can we serve Krishna? We can serve Krishna by chanting of the holy name. Arjuna was serving Krishna by fighting the war. Why? Because Krishna said, Arjuna, fight the war. And Arjuna carried out Krishna's order. What is the order for us in the Bhagavad Gita? Krishna says, in this age of Kali, everybody should chant the holy name. And we can serve Krishna by chanting the holy name. Let's all chant together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. If you like, you could take 10 minutes in your day and dedicate the 10 minutes to Krishna. Or if you have more time, you can dedicate more time in chanting the holy name of Krishna. This is the cleansing process, like we clean our body every day. Chanting of this mantra cleanses us from inside. It is an internal bath. It relieves us from all negative emotions like anger, greed, envy, pride, all these negative emotions that take away our attention from our duties. They get cleansed from our heart by chanting this mantra. So I invite all of us, to take the chanting of the holy name in our lives seriously, attentively, daily, every day. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me via text and I will answer them to the best of my ability. Thank you all very much for watching. We will meet again with our text number 24. Until then, Wishing you all a very happy chanting. Take care. Hare Krishna.